of the problems with the internet, TV, multimedia, the music game, all that stuff, is people ain't real. People are not real. In my opinion, we always trying to be something that we not.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We got to put makeup for TV. Why? Why can't I be my natural self? Why do I got to have a model be airbrushed and she's already beautiful? Why is it that we got to live a fake, false reality? Why can't we present ourselves natural?
Is it because you got a conglomerate media out there that feels they viewing population is so stupid they rather look at the cleavage than listen to the conversation, or look at a cereal box? Because I'm going to tell you something, nothing is filmed without a motive. Nothing is sung without a motive. Something's got to be pushed behind a message. That's the way big marketers work. That's the way corporations work. Yeah. So is it a way around that? How can XX flakes make money off cereal?
If it's all the same. If it's all
on a sitcom.
Yeah. Right.
What's funny?
Right.
You know what's funny? How much money they make off just showing that little brand box of cereal on there.
But I get what he's saying. It's like from day one we're conditioned to believe a certain way, to believe that, you know, you have to emulate this model or this, you have to fit into this box,
right,
to be accepted.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When we know it's not the real world.
Okay, but let's say this. For instance, you were talking about a model who's already beautiful.
Right.
And I had a discussion with some young ladies who are models.
Right.
And they were having a discussion about the hair and the long hair and
right,
all this stuff,
right,
versus the sisters out there with the natural hair.
Exactly.
But to me,
yeah,
and that's just my personal opinion, to me, a young lady with natural hair who's beautiful is the most beautiful thing.
I know.
It's the most beautiful thing. So I probably go against the grain. Because I see a lot of brothers, you know, if they don't have that ponytail swinging down their back, or, you know, they're not showing everything that they got that mama gave them, then they don't even look at it. They don't want to talk to her.
Right.
Because she doesn't look a certain way. So, but that's the way we are conditioned. Why?
Why are we conditioned?
Yeah, why are we conditioned? What makes us be conditioned?
No. It's not what makes us conditioned that way. It's what made whatever conditioned us that way, and why did we accept it? That's the question.
Well, that's
now the question is what? Question mark. And why is the question mark? They conditioned us that way. And how do we end up accepting it? Which is the question mark that way. Because you know what? You can go out to the streets right now, you can ask any female out there that's going natural. She'll tell you the same thing you just said. I'm going against the grain, baby. Because...
But it shouldn't be that way. It should not.
Okay, it's back to the what, why, and the how. What's doing it? Why they doing it? And how do we end up accepting it?
Well, you have to think about the history of it. The history of it. From way back in the day, we, as a society, has been conditioned to believe
that our naturalness is not
natural.
We're not normal. Because kinky hair is not good hair.
Okay.
Dark skin is not acceptable.
I don't accept it.
But of course you don't. But that's what's being taught. So why do our women have to wear long hair, wear weave, wear all that different stuff? Because what God gave them isn't good enough. So therefore they gotta hide.
So where does that come from?
It comes from indoctrination. It comes from
there you go. Now
domestication. It comes from implanting in the minds of our women and our men that the naturalness of the African is not good enough.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna interrupt you for a second now, because I think all of us are guys here.
Right.
You got some women who throw brainwashing out the door. You got some women who are subconscious about themselves.
Right.
And they feel that, you know what, I know it's fake hair, And I know it's fake, but I just want to look good. I want to feel good for me.
Right.
I don't care how Tyra Banks and all them look. I just
But
want
what makes
fake
them?
hair
What
and
makes
fake
you
nails
think?
'cause
What
it
makes them
me
think that
feel
that's
good.
Right.
gonna make them feel good because they got that false hair and the eyelashes and they push in their breasts?
Because it do make
so
them
what?
feel good.
So what are they lacking?
They're lacking critical thinking.
Is it critical thinking?
They're lacking critical thinking. They are indoctrinated to believe that their natural God-given
Okay.
look is not good enough.
Does that feed into low self-esteem? I mean, is that a part of it?
Of course it does.
Let me hear what this guy right here was a caller that we put on hold for so long. He came down, but he didn't want to be on film, but he came down, so we keeping him as the caller. But he here with us, but he don't want to be on film. But he originally became a caller. What you were saying again?
We don't know what it's like to be a woman. We don't deal with the time of the month. We don't have to deal with us men, and we don't have to deal with other issues. For a second, throw out the door about the brainwashing and all of that. Maybe I'm feeling depressed. Maybe as a woman, I might be sad. And maybe just doing my hair, whether it's fake, makes me feel good. Maybe just having long nails, although they might be fake, maybe it just makes me feel good. Whether it makes any sense to the world or not, just maybe it just makes me feel good.
Let me address that. You're 100% right. We know it makes them feel good because they do it. That's a given. The question is, why does it make them feel good? Because they are led to believe that their natural hair, their natural look, and their natural ability is not acceptable.
Okay.
And it's implanted in
You
your
said
mind.
something. You said
They're
ability.
indoctrinated that way.
Did you say ability?
Ability.
Okay, that comes down to something else. Okay, that comes down to something else. I had a discussion today with a couple of people, and we were talking about critical thinking.
Hold on, say it again. I couldn't hear
We
you.
were talking about critical thinking.
Okay.
We're talking about education. And I made the statement that education begins in the home before your child ever sees
Okay.
the inside of the first
So
school.
hold on. I ain't trying to interrupt you, but you said you was talking about critical thinking and education.
Yes.
They go together?
No. Trust me, I said that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Critical thinking starts at home. You set the example for your children.
Well, it depends on what they're teaching you at home. Now, if I'm a crackhead and I got a kid, am I teaching my kid
But what
accurately?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Your children learn by example.
Exactly.
So, let's say you start
Good and bad.
good and bad. So let's say you start with a false premise,
Right.
a negative social interaction with people, or whatever. Let's say it's just a negative concept.
Or you're
This-
told, or you're told at a young age your hair isn't right. You got to straighten it up.
Whatever, yeah.
To what
whatever.
we were just
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean?
at the same
You
time,
get that from
but
home.
but see, your children learn by example. So what you teach them at home before they even see the inside of the first school is what they are going to be conditioned to believe.
And that's the word I've been waiting on, but go ahead.
Condition.
That's the word I've been waiting on.
Exactly.
I didn't want to say it. I said I've been waiting on.
But like
Go
you
ahead.
said, education and critical thinking do not go hand in hand. Because why? Because they want to condition you to think a certain way.
Right.
And critical thinking allows you to think outside of the box. And you are chastised, you're criticized, you're made to feel different or out of the norm if you think outside the box. If you have a concept of critical thinking. Public education
Well,
stifles
hang on,
imagination.
gentlemen. I think we need to have
Hold on.
we need to have a clear definition of what critical thinking is. Like we're throwing that word around a lot. When I say critical thinking, I think of rationality. I think of asking the question of who, what, when, and where. I think
Where does
of
that concept come from?
answering the question why something happens and being able to effectively explain that. And based on what I've been studying, it's called the Trivium. It's called the Trivium. The Trivium asks critical questions and it challenges the statements that man presents as answers. It's a challenge. to see that it's authentic, that the information is true and accurate.
Now hold up. Sorry to cut you off, big dog. This is Rock. I call him big dog.
I got a little deep there. But
No.
I'm back up.
It's Tony right here.
I'm Tony.
You know what I'm saying? You can call me CL, but hey,
What?
you know, you got to call me
Oh, he's
whatever.
Mr. Smooth.
But I'm gonna tell you something right now. He's right and you right. But if you go back and look at
Oh, everybody right.
if you go back,
No, we can't.
if you go back and think about this whole conversation what we started out on, we got the where. I'll take it back to the basics. It's use critical thinking and this trivium on our topic. You know what I'm saying? And our topic was the condition. How did women get conditioned? Even our caller who couldn't get in, that came in today and said, hey, I got something I want to say. And he said, hey, they get their hair done and nails done. I get the bleach cream. He didn't say the bleach cream, but
Yeah.
I'm throwing it in that too. I'm being for real. It
No,
wouldn't be on the
I'm-
shelf.
I'm-
It wouldn't be on the shelf if it wasn't meant the bleach cream. Now,
I wanna
hold
understand.
on.
No.
I'm getting somewhere with
Okay.
this. We got the where. You got your question to answer the where, and the where was the doctrine. Where did all this come from? That they gotta look a certain way and act a certain way. You got your where. He said the doctrine. But I didn't get my question answered. The question was, who's doing this? Why they doing this? And how we end up accepting this? Now we can't We can't play the blame game until all the questions are answered.
Well, that's what.
Who is the who? Who is the who?
Well, that's what he is saying.
Now, let's answer
You've
my-
got to answer. You've got to
Now,
ask
now,
those questions,
for we-
and then you have to.
Because you know what? The blame
answer.
game relies
The
on that.
problem is this.
You have to seek
There's
answers
two problems,
to those
gentlemen,
questions.
especially with us African people of African descent. One, we get so emotional, we forget to think. That's number one. Two, we don't ask the right questions. So, it's one thing to point the finger and say it's the white man. It's
I don't
another
accept- I
thing.
don't- I do
well,
not- I do not accept that.
But listen to what I'm saying. It's one thing to say
not
that,
accept- okay.
but it's another thing to be able to prove it. You know what I mean?
Well,
And the
not
only
only
way
that,
you
no,
can
no.
prove the source of problems is if you ask the correct questions.
Okay.
And the trivium brings, that's what this is about. You come up with a systematic approach to getting clear understanding of something before jumping to conclusions.
Okay.
All right.
And the reason I say I don't accept that, I guess because
No, I wanted you to get back on what I was talking about because I value your opinion, and I moved down the road a little too fast. I think you know what I'm saying.
No.
Back to the condition.
Well,
Who is these people?
it's not.
Why they doing it? And how we end up accepting it so well?
Well, the who is I think the who we call the upper echelons of society, people who want to keep control over
That
us as
is
men.
so damn vague.
Well, look, hear me out.
That is so vague.
No.
It's like,
Throughout history,
Throughout history,
who has controlled the masses? Let's answer
okay.
that question.
Right.
Who are the people who control the man? Who are the people who wrote the rules, put down the rules for a particular society, tribe, race of people to follow?
So we're gonna bring up what names like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers.
No.
I want me call names or something.
No.
Vanderbilts.
No. Well, you can call them that, but who are these people? Who are these people? Where do they fit in?
I think the real question is, I think. Well, hang on. I'm agreeing.
Government.
I'm agreeing with you.
What you want me to do?
Yes, there's a
What
historical.
a proof at?
There's a historical precedence that says the European has indoctrinated people of color. Historical. The problem
they've
is, the
indoctrinated
question
the world.
is, well, the world, yeah. The question is why does it still exist today? The reason it still exists today with so-called free-thinking people is because our conditioning, our domestication, our indoctrination is still present, and they don't have to do anything anymore.
Okay,
we
exactly.
do it to ourselves now.
That's the who. Now give me the why and give me the how. We
The
should
why
accept this.
is I don't have to work if you my slave. I don't have to physically work. I don't have to do anything. My wealth is based on you serving me.
Okay.
That's the why. All right. I don't have to do anything.
Because the foundation's already laid.
Exactly.
And it's been laid for thousands of years.
It's been laid for 400 years to be specific
in this country.
on this.
Hang on. He's spending gas money getting down here. Gas right now, everybody, is almost $4 a gallon. So I think we need to go ahead and get him in here.
I'm going back and I'm going to come forward because I've been sitting here listening to you guys. And I did see your video on YouTube, 315 hits in one day. Very impressive.
Whatever.
I told all my buddies about it. It should have been a lot higher. But that's
Whatever.
the story. I understand the Trivium, grammar, logic, rhetoric, who, what, when, where, how, sometimes why. That's my intellectual
Always
joke
why.
they get.
Always why. Never
Let me go back
sometimes.
to one issue. And I'm going to cover this since we don't have it on the panel. But I see one here. So hold on one second. Hey, excuse me, right there. I got a question for you.
What's up?
When you guys go and get your hair done, whether it be fake nails or fake hair or whatever, do you do it because you was brainwashed to do it because Tyra Banks told you to do it, or did you do it because you just want to feel good about yourself? Which one is it?
I do it because it makes me feel good about myself. But to say what makes me feel good about, what makes me feel good about myself, could very well have been my grandma watching Tyra Banks.
Thank you, fellas. Now you actually, since you all are guys, and I feel that I'm a guy too, you just don't understand unless you actually ask a woman.
Hold up.
Now,
First of all, you feel like you're a guy, or are you a guy?
I am, but again, we're talking about a subject that how
I know.
can you relate to it if you're not one? Now let's go to the second thing.
Hold up. No, let him go. He said,
let him go.
How do you throw 5 questions and we can't answer the one?
Let him go.
All right, go ahead.
The second thing, you guys talked about children. One of you fellas mentioned conditioning. We talked about raising. Okay, I know a lot of people who had good homes, good upbringings, who was raised from right and wrong. They go out in the streets and do something stupid. Explain the orphans of the world. People never told them right from wrong, and they grow up to be quite upstanding citizens. What
Some
about
of
that
them,
one? Okay, now let's go to the third thing, the fifth thing. Someone earlier mentioned African Americans. Now that term irks me. Why? Because my lineage might not come from Africa.
Everybody's lineage comes from Africa.
Thank you.
Everybody. Like it or not.
Okay, do we say European Americans? Do we say German Americans?
They don't have to because they're in charge.
Dutch Americans? No.
Well, not only that, so everybody's origins comes from Africa.
Everybody.
You just talked about 5 subjects. Can we address subject at a time?
I'm sorry.
Number one. Number one.
How it was presented. You
Okay.
got it around with
All right.
subject.
Number
Let's get
one.
back to the how,
It was a
who,
woman.
what, when, where, and
It was a
why.
question about a woman.
I gotta admit though.
But he just said 10 things. Can we give answers to the 10
Okay,
things?
so hold on. I don't think we hit a good answer.
We're piling everything up.
I don't think we hit a good answers. He came out to host the shooting. I don't think we hit a good answers. We are here to really just understand. You know what?
I don't understand because the question is asked ain't nobody comment on it.
You know why I'm here?
Why
I'm
you
here?
here? Why you here?
I'm here to understand more about me.
Okay.
Big dog.
Right.
Rock. What you here for?
I'm here to share, to present, and to give a quick answer to everything we've been talking about so far.
A quick answer.
A quick answer.
Now, how you
Mind control. Why is it a woman feels that she's not pretty?
Why do we keep going back to that? Why is that just?
Well, first you gotta let me answer the question.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Mind control. All right. If I'm not comfortable with my natural hair, my natural nails, my natural skin tone, therefore I am indoctrinated some way to believe that that's not acceptable.
Okay.
That's number one. Hang on. This guy just said 50 things. If I'm not comfortable knowing through history that all man came from Africa, when we know for a fact that it did, and he's not comfortable using the term Africa,
African American.
it's because he is conditioned to not be comfortable with that. You know what I mean? If you want to say, okay, I'm not from Africa, but I'm from Haiti. But guess what? Everybody from Haiti is from Africa.
Everybody's from China's from Africa.
Exactly. So I'm not trying to say that you got to accept anything. I'm not saying you got to say. I'm just saying that once you are comfortable with critical thinking and asking the right questions, all your answers are right there.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.